Hello, my name is Margarita McGovern and I'm the Practice Learning Coordinator for the Masters in Social Work programme at NUI in Galway, and that's in the west of Ireland. This is the first book in a series, and you've seen that it's social work placement, new approaches, new thinking. And of the 7 books in this series, we begin by looking at language. This seems a very sensible place to start with regard to training students. And how they use words and the context in which they use words are really important. It's not just the words that are important, it is looking at tone and looking at symbols and looking at signals that students give when they're on placement within an interview situation. Within this first chapter of this book, the tutors and the practice teachers are also included, and there are various ways that are suggested that they can bring out the best in the students when looking at their language makeup. It's interesting too, when you think about language, that we can draw from many other areas, many other health areas like speech therapy, occupational therapy, psychology, when we look at the makeup of how we think and the words come, or how the words come and we think. Whatever process you're interested in within this chapter, I have looked at both of those areas. I think language also as a regulator and again how it's used in the agency is very important, and there are some interesting pieces of research mentioned as well as videos and podcasts from the students around the agency language that maybe students don't pick up initially but if they consider is very important. Human rights and social justice is a keystone of the MA in social work here at Galway, and there is a very interesting podcast by Mary Keys in this section looking at the language of human rights and social justice, and important here for the students to listen to this podcast. The book moves on and looks at professional identity and is opened by the chair, one of our UNESCO chairs here, Pat Dolan, Professor in the Child and Family Research Centre here at Galway. Professional identity, a very important area for students to think about. There are podcasts made by the students here where they consider this idea of looking at what professional identity means to them. It is that idea of being able to make a difference between how we see the professional self and how we see the personal self, and how we can move students along that journey and that road. This book finishes then with looking at the professional self with regard to other social workers in different countries. So you will see short excerpts from looking at professional identity in China, in North Korea, in Israel, in the United States. And I think that that's worthwhile seeing this subject in a world context. The chapter towards the end looks at beginnings and expectations of placement for students. What do students think about going on placement? What expectations do practice teachers have? Within this part of the book, I have used mind maps, working with students, the use of sticky post boards in order to try and bring out what's inside them, what they're thinking, what they want to say. The point about this whole book really is that it looks at the spoken word and the given word as being really important. What practice teachers have to say, what experts have to say in the field, what tutors, what they have to give to the placement experience, and also for the student, what they need to learn and what they need to listen to with other people speaking within these subjects. Thank you for listening and looking at this book, and hopefully you will look at the other books in this series and make them useful. Goodbye.